Hi everyone. Slightly impromptu, TV remote, slightly impromptu live stream tonight. Oh, that's not a flattering angle. Hi. I hope that you can all hear me somewhat better than in the previous live stream. I haven't announced anywhere that I'm doing the live stream, so who knows if anyone will join me, but somewhat impromptu because Mary has gone to bed, for he is a baker. And that is what baker boys do. They go to bed at super early in the morning. It's currently 20 to 9, so it's not even that early. I need to move my mic closer. I can't do anything unless I hold it here. Is this... Tell me about volume, because last time I was told that volume wasn't good. And I didn't have an external mic plugged in. So I've tried by compromising the external mic situ. Tell me how volume is, people that are watching. If it's a complete fail... Okay. How is a way I can get round this without holding it here? Because I need to be beading. Do I tuck this round like this? And like this? And then do this? And then adjust? Is this okay? Or this might get annoying. Might get in the way of my beading. Might just not be able to bead. Clip it onto my glasses. I have nothing to clip it with. Thread it through my shirt. There's nothing to thread. We're just going to have to make this weird angle work. And then it's going to get in the way of my beading. I think it must depend on what kind of phone you have, because some people said that the sound volume is fine. Some people are not. But hi everyone. I hope that you're all well. I haven't done a live stream in forever. I haven't podcast this week. I was going to podcast. And then I looked at what I've knit. And I've barely knit anything. Because I'm doing this. Beading unicorns. Well, not just unicorns. I'm beading various other things. But right now, I'm beading unicorns. So, I thought that I would live stream whilst I beaded the unicorns, because if I live stream using my phone, I then can't play on my phone and go on any games and whatnot. So it makes complete sense. I love your beading. I encourage you to try it. Oh, thanks. It's actually not that difficult to do. I mean, I'm biased because I've been doing it for so long. I realised yesterday, which was the 11th, wasn't it? Yesterday, my Etsy shop, that was my online shop, the Corner of Craft, turned 5, and I completely forgot to recognise it in any way, shape or form. So that was really good of me. But my online shop is now 5 years old. It's gone through quite a few evolutions as to the kind of shop it is and the kind of thing that I sell on it. But it is 5. Oh, happy birthday for Monday. Oh, that's not a thing you can do in Germany. You don't wish people happy birthday before their birthday. It's considered terribly bad luck. Luckily, you're not German. I'm not German. I'm not in Germany anymore. It is no longer bad luck. I'm on Avi. But yeah, 5 years of the Corner of Craft existing. That's pretty crazy. Which must mean in May, which isn't that far away. It was on Wednesday. That's exciting. My sister's birthday is on Thursday, and she's turning the big 30. Which isn't that big of a birthday. Oh no, my terrible setup is failing. Oh, speak of the devil, she just WhatsApped me, and I can't check it. 29 isn't old because that's my that's how old I'm going to be next year, and I'm freaked out about turning 28. So, no doubt I will freak out about turning 29. Let's be honest. I just haven't dealt with aging very well, but I've said that multiple times before. But yeah, my YouTube channel. Oh, that's your Instagram. My YouTube channel is going to be 5 years old in May, which is quite a long way away, let's be honest. But it's crazy that I've had it. And on January the 1st marks 11 years since I uploaded my first ever video to YouTube. Not on this channel. I hasten to add, I had another channel before this one in which I used to talk a lot of rubbish and used to do makeup tutorials, which is pretty laughable because I do get quite a few on Instagram, get quite a few comments about, oh, your makeup's really good. But that's purely, oh no, my microphone. That's purely just because I've been practicing for a very long time. And I enjoy doing it. And if you take the time to, and you enjoy doing something, then it's going to look okay. I did even have eyelashes on, but I hadn't intended on live streaming. You don't need to see the makeup tutorials. They are abysmal in comparison to how various other makeup tutorials are filmed today. That is 100% how I learned how to do makeup, was via YouTube. That's how I got my eyeshadow happening. Not that you can really see it with the reflection of the glasses happening, but I didn't take them off. Been a bit of a sweaty mess this evening. So, how do I bead? I have plenty of tutorials on YouTube showing you how to do brick stitch. This is not one of them, for it is a pay for pattern, which means I cannot and will not be doing a tutorial for it. But I'm currently beading a tiny unicorn, and you're all keeping me company as I do it. Otherwise I would just put Netflix on and absorb it, but I need to chat a bit more. I went to the opening of a pop-up shop here in Nottingham, which is very exciting. It's called Handmade Nottingham, and I went with one of my friends, Emma, who is Make and Fable across the internet. It is Hanana the Banana, correct, not Hannah the Banana, Hanana the Banana, H-A-N-A-N-A, the banana. Cracking. Yeah, is anyone doing any knitting? Let me know. This certainly is the sockhead hat. Once again, hat cannot be removed. I have terrible hat hair. A pattern, if you go to Bead Crumbs on Etsy, she's got a plethora of patterns. It's her unicorn pattern. This is a sockhead hat. I made it a bit shorter than other sockhead hats I've knit. Shorter in the head. But, and this is out of Truly Hooked yarn in, it's got something to do with the Sex Pit. Oh, God Save the Queen, that's what it's called. Bead Crumbs, yes. She's very talented. Hi Hannah, you're right, I've missed some chat. Oh, knitting the flax, very nice. What do I watch on Netflix? It varies. I watch many things. I watch a lot of series, especially at the moment. But I'm just going to leave my mic. I can't be doing this. I'm sorry. Oh, if you struggle to hear me, it might be headphones in, Jobby, and I sincerely apologise. Oh, thank you. Netflix. Because I've spent a lot of my time recently sat on the sofa, like right now, because it's much nicer for my back, weirdly, because you're sat on quite a high table, which means I don't have to bend over to bead. So I have been sitting down here and the TV's straight ahead, so I've just been binge watching a lot of Netflix series. Lots of Netflix. Arguably too much. And especially because there are several series that Mario and I watch together, which is annoying for me. Great for both of us. But it means that, because for example, The Good Place, which I really enjoy. I started watching The Good Place on Netflix, and then I thought, oh, Mario's not going to enjoy this, so I can watch it, and it will be great. And then watch the first two seasons, and then he started watching them, and then he really enjoyed it. So now the third season's out. I have to wait for him to watch it. So, all the curse of being in a relationship. yeah, the flax pattern is absolutely incredible considering it is a free pattern. The amount of sizes in it and the amount of tutorials it's got for it. It's my first ever knitted shawl. It's got picots on each row. That's crazy. I don't think I've ever knit a picot before. I've done a lot of crochet picots because some of you may not know. I have been a crocheter far longer than I've been a knitter, which means for me, like how some people can look at a knitting project and just know how it's done, give or take. I can look at some, not all, I'm not that arrogant. I can look at some crochet projects and be like, oh, so that's done by doing this and this and this, which is pretty cool. I did a picot bind off, totally confused me. Yeah, I've never done a picot cast off before. They look like they are very time consuming. And time consuming cast offs frustrate me a lot because usually by the time I'm at the cast off, I'm just like done and really excited to move on to the next thing I can knit. But to then be faced with I did finish my boardwalk blouse. I need to cut all the threads off. I had intended on wearing it for my podcast, but I think I'm going to try podcasting next week and get a bit more knitting done before it. Although saying that, my parents are visiting next Thursday. They're visiting Thursday to Wednesday. So maybe I'll try and do a podcast on Wednesday. I'll try. Because I also have to bead for a shop update and also for Nottingham Yarn Expo. It is bead weaving hard? No, bead weaving is not difficult. It's not... I wouldn't say it's difficult. I mean, it depends how you... Like, the actual process isn't difficult. I mean, I'm able to chat to you while I do it. If you're able to follow a chart and follow along with matching colours to colours. And I mean, you can make it with, you can make them using the tiny weeny beads that I use, or you can use, you know, those beads that you iron together, the hammer beads or perler beads or whatever they're called. Then you can practice using that and thicker thread, and that might be easier, but I only learnt using these teeny tiny bits because I used to work in a bead shop. I'll be honest. I used to work in a bead shop, and that is how I learnt to bead weave because I had the supplies at my disposal. But yeah, no, I don't think it's too difficult to bead weave. It's just incredibly time consuming, and because I'm chatting, I'm going so much slower. Your doggy's moaning at you, how sad. Hello, hello, hello. When am I making more beaded bracelets? Do you mean beaded bracelets tutorials? I've taken a break from video tutorials for the time being. Just because the enjoyment factor just kind of disappeared, and I also started selling the things that I bead weave a lot more and making tutorials for things that you sell, especially bead weaving, because they are very easy to make and have them look similar, and unless you make your own patterns, which is not something I'm amazing at. I've got one or two things in my shop that are my own patterns, but I leave that to the experts. But if I were to make tutorials for things that I sell in my shop, then anybody could make them and sell them, you know? And now this is my source of income. I have to try and stay ahead of the curve a little bit, if that makes sense. I don't want to come across as sounding selfish and like, you can't do this, because that's not what I mean at all. Because you can do whatever you want. But That is why I don't do tutorials at the moment. Does that make sense? I don't want to come across as an asshole. I'm not an asshole, I promise. I don't really bark so much. Sorry, not sorry for constantly spamming you with tags on Instagram because they're on every project. Oh, thanks. I mean, I'm currently using the sparkly pink beads that you have on your coffee cup to do the... Oh, you're not going to be able to see on this terrible camera. The hoofs and horn, and also for the mane and tail of these ones. These are all for Nottingham Yarn Expo. Which, oh yeah, I was meant to say this. If you are planning on going to Nottingham Yarn Expo, even if you have to travel to go, but I mean, I can't pay for your travel. I'm currently giving away on Instagram a pair of tickets. Currently giving away a pair of tickets for Nottingham Yarn Expo. So if you would like to go, check out my post on... It's not breadcrumbs, it's bead crumbs. Bead crumbs. Not breadcrumbs. Bead crumbs. My phone auto-corrects bead crumbs to breadcrumbs, and so it doesn't find it, but it is definitely called bead crumbs. I mean, you could also just search bead crumbs Hawaii on Instagram and go through that way, if not, as an alternative route to the shop. Although I shouldn't be giving away all my secrets, because then there's going to be a band of people also painstakingly beading stitch markers. But she is very clever at her pattern making. Her and I have become, I say, friends. I consider anyone I talk to. I mean, I'm tempted to make some of the... Would you like blue with a pink horn or pink with a blue horn? And I will make some for my next shop update next week. Let me know which way round you want. Yeah, I consider anyone that I chat to online as a friend, which makes me sound like a bit of a loser. Oh, sorry, microphone. Makes me sound like a bit of a loser, but maybe I am. What of it, huh? No problem. I've typed in bread for a while. Blue with pink horn. Right. I should have a post-it note somewhere so I can write this down. I always want to take notes when I'm doing an Instagram story. But yes, I would make some for my shop update next week. Ah. Okay. Have I talked about Once Upon a Time? I don't want to give any spoilers. I watched all of Once Upon a Time, and then I got onto the 7th season. Have I discussed this on a podcast? Potentially. I got onto the 7th season, whatever the most recent one is. And I was so annoyed that they basically rinsed and repeat the story. Any plans for different potions? Yes, I bought some more beads today to make the outside flask because I ran out of those. Because I'm getting through, tell you what, I'm getting through beading thread like it's going out of fashion. Okay, good, I'm glad the 7th is the last season. In the nicest possible... Just almost could have dropped my needle. In the nicest possible way. Because don't just take the same story, rinse and repeat, and then deliver it back to me in a slightly different format. No thanks, that's not fun. I've already sat through 6 series of God knows how many curses taking over this town. How many curses can there blimmin' be? To them, there being yet another one where someone forgets everything and then it's Cal disaster, everything's happening, and then it's just like, will you please get a grip? I can't bring myself to watch it. I watched 20 minutes and then I was like, no, I can't do this. They should have just let it go. They should have ended it at season 6 and that'd be that, and it would have been nice. and I could have lived my life in blissful ignorance without watching 20 minutes of the season 7. That's on me. I mean, you can, yeah, it is redundant. It is good. I'm glad it's not just me that thought that. I couldn't even watch it for Hook, and I love Hook because I am rather partial to a man in eyeliner. I won't lie. Okay, that was enough of Once Upon a Time chit chat. What are you all crafting on? What are you all making? Hi, if you're watching for the first time, I'm Hannah. Nice to meet you. If you're watching this back after I'm live, hi. Apologies for the off-topicness, but once again, very much how I roll. How long does it take to make one stitch marker? Well, I've been making this pretty much since I started, and I'm nowhere near finished. I've been live stream of 20 minutes, so it doesn't usually take me this long. I would say my quickest stitch markers, I would say take, because I do time them, but when I'm timing them, I'm like laser focused, and I can't say I'm laser focused with everyone because I would get a terrible headache. I would say that they take a minimum of 15 minutes per stitch marker. And then the longest stitch marker that I ever made was the ball of yarn with 2 needles sticking out, which was super cute. I loved that. But can't make that a regular in my shop because that took me 45 minutes to make. As in 45. Because Mario likes to wind me up when I say things like, it took me 45 minutes. He's like, 4 to 5 minutes. That's not very long. And he knows what I said, and he does it to wind me up, and I fall for it almost every time. Crocheting a baby bat costume. Well, that sounds like the cutest thing in the world. And when I have offspring, I want to put them in a baby bat costume. Working on my Halloween advent mini for the day to a blanket square. Oh, very nice. Yeah, no, I love the idea of a Halloween advent calendar. That is really cool. Because, I mean, not everyone's a Christmas person. Some people like the spooky. But I can't. I really want to next year get a yarn advent calendar. But it was not financially viable for me this year, sadly. It was not in the finances. That's what happens when I decide to go full-time self-employed. Means that various luxuries in life remain as such. Oh, hi. Hey, people in the chat. You see Dundonit that's just popped up. I'm sure you've heard about her because apparently she's been raved about on various podcasts. I'm very out the loop of watching podcasts. Yes, please include the baby in the Stashmas cow picture if it's okay with the parents. If you're the parent, then you can okay it. Dundonit, fantastic podcast, Knitting Vicariously. Watched it today. Was that earlier today? Was that today or was that yesterday? I finished the second one today. Or did I start it yesterday? Oh my god, the days are merging into one. That's what happens when you spend your day sat on a sofa watching things. Your days just merge into one. Such is life. But yes, Dundonit in the chat. Fantastic podcast. Recommend. You should watch How to Get Away with Murder. Amazing show. Okay, good to know. You see, I'm a Christmas gal. A Corner of Craft bead advent calendar would be amazing. It would be incredible. I would have to start it in January. There would have to be a limit of about 10. And it would cost a lot of money. Because making 24 times 10, 240. Tiny beaded stitch markers. Oh, that would be a time consuming. That would be a time consuming advent calendar. I had considered doing a Yeah. Stitch marker club starting in January, so it gives me time to prepare. Once again, there would be a very relatively small limit of 10 to 20 per month. But I was considering doing a stitch marker club because that would be cool. But sorry, that was very unpleasant of me. I've got a bit of a sniffly nose, and I'm really sorry. I don't know if I'm creative enough to come up with enough different patterns for it. I could do like club exclusive colours of various things, but I don't want people who have already bought things from me. Thank you very much. This shadow with these glasses and this angle makes my nose look massive. I have a really small nose. I'm just saying, I don't have a big nose, but this combo of this light from here with my nose and these glasses and this angle makes me look like I've got, you know, those glasses that have the nose attached, like those disguise glasses you got when you were kids, and they put on in films, and all of a sudden nobody recognised them, which is complete bollocks, but also great. That is what I currently look like with my glasses and my nose. Sorry. Yeah, if you've bought things from me before, can't believe that I remembered what I was talking about before I got distracted by my own nose. If you bought things from me before, I just don't want you to be like, oh, I've already got this in green, you know? Does that make sense? Maybe that's just, maybe people would like that. I don't know. Yes, Dundonit has a fantastic sense of humour. I have a feeling you and I will get on very well when we meet in person, without inappropriate conversations. I did think about dyeing a yarn club. Oh my god, a chromatic yarns in corner of craft marker combo calendar. That would be quite the marathon if I were to do an advent calendar of that. I was going to do a critical role. I talked about this, I teased about this. I was going to do a critical role, which is a dungeon, which is people playing Dungeons and Dragons online. I was going to do a critical role yarn club for like 3 months, just to see how it was. And I don't know why I never did it. I think maybe this is just me. I'm being fantastic joke. I'm just going to be completely transparent with you all because that's who I am. You know me, very down to earth. At least I try to be. If you've met me in person, I am the same as this as I am in person. I'm the same as this in here on, you know what I mean. I'm me, down to earth. Let's get cracking. Suffering slightly at the moment from what I've heard is called impostor syndrome, where I feel like there are loads of other people that are better than me doing what I'm doing, and that I should maybe stop what I'm doing and get a normal job like a normal person, you know? Good, nice quick sentence like that. I can make my own beading advent calendar with things you wouldn't make for Etsy, like the patterns that take too long to do on Etsy, so you're not confused with yourself. I make one for myself. I could make a beaded advent calendar for myself. I mean, that would be pretty cool, but I would also know what's in it. I'm hoping Mary gets me another tea advent calendar because that was cracking last year. Okay, good. I'm glad that I said it quickly enough, but not so quickly that people don't understand what I'm saying. Because the stitch markers I make are very unique, so I probably won't stop making those because nobody else makes those. But in regards to yarn dyeing specifically, I'm just having a real major freak out that maybe I should stop with the yarn dyeing and just do stitch markers, you know? But then the yarn dyeing is fun. It's a different creative outlet which requires me not to sit on my ass. Yeah, I know. You do you. I know. I just feel like I'm not very good at yarn dyeing. I feel like the people, other people, because this is what I do, I compare myself to other people, which is the complete opposite as to what you should do. You're brought up saying, don't compare yourself to other people. You're your own flower. You wouldn't compare a sunflower to a rose, so don't compare yourself to other people. I don't know why that was the analogy, and I'm sorry if I've just missed some chat. I'll scroll back in a second. But yeah, I compare myself to other people, and I see how they've progressed and have bettered their techniques and marketing and posts on Instagram and photography and everything like that. And I just feel like a bit of an imposter. I feel like I haven't really improved. I feel like I've just got quite lucky. I feel like my YouTube channel took off, which was quite lucky when I was back doing craft tutorials. I feel like my stitch markers have got quite lucky in that I sent them to a few podcasters and then they did quite well. And yeah, enough self-deprecation. That's not what you tune in for. You gotta fake it till you make it, you know. But I just want to be completely real and transparent with you all. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I wanna scroll and read some things just to make myself feel better. Imposter syndrome is ridiculously common amongst women in particular. Good to know. We're here to watch you, or we'd be watching a million other podcasts out there right now, which is you. Completely understand. We need more craft tutorials. I know, I took a break from craft tutorials because they became more hard work for me and less fun. I'm going to... I love that you found some incredible inspiration from D&D and gives you input. Aw, thanks. And there's just so much out there in D&D. And there's so many different things, and it's just so cool. It's very exciting. I just don't really know. Yeah, I guess I'll stick with it. I just need to work on my marketing a bit more, I think, regarding the yarns. All of the yarns. I swear I haven't started that yet. But if the thing is, if you don't do it, you're not going to get better. It's one of those. I'm going to quickly open a Facebook chat that I have and hope that this doesn't stop filming. Have you stopped filming? Good to know, Suzanne. Good to know. Hi, Suzanne. I'm sorry I didn't chat in the chat, but we will chat tomorrow in person. I'm going to see Green Lambkin Yarns, aka Suzanne, hostess of the Green Lambkin podcast. I'm going to Chesterfield tomorrow to meet up with her, and we're going to spend the day together, and it's going to be great fun. Done it. Yes, we will chat about that. We'll do a thing. I don't really know what that means, but it sounds so mysterious. I don't know why I keep moving the mic closer to my mouth like it actually does anything, but it makes me sound quite exciting. Yeah, exchange rates aren't great for you guys, are they? I mean, depending where you are. In Canada, they're pretty abysmal. Is it? Yes. Canada's expensive. Yes. Currency from... yes. Stop talking, Hannah. I think you're talking out of your foot again. I really need to start learning to drive, because I'm thinking if I do pretty well at Nottingham Yarn Expo, by do pretty well I mean if I enjoy it and I don't have a complete meltdown, which I'm slightly thinking I might do, with nervousness, because I fear that everything is going to go wrong in my life. I want to do more, and I want to do more yarn shows. Then I need a car. We have a car. I need to learn to drive. Oh, yes, we will chat. Yeah, no, I don't buy from the US for the same reason regarding shipping and such. Shipping from the States is extortionate. I can't believe how expensive it is. I don't want to have to pay exactly the same, or not exactly the same. I don't want to have to pay half to double what I've paid for yarn to Oh, bless her. Bless Ivy. She's so cute. Yeah, I don't want to have to pay extortionate amounts to get it shipped over, for it then to be kidnapped by customs, and then I have to pay stupid amounts for customs, and then they charge customs handling fees, £8 to do what? Hold my yarn captive for a couple of weeks? I'm sure that was really strenuous. You know, they have to process it. I know, I'm just being an ass. But yes, reasons I don't buy from the States. The Unicorn Stitch wants to send in my shop. I do shop updates on a Saturday at 4 p.m. British time. The next stitch marker update is next week, so not tomorrow, but the week after, but not tomorrow Saturday, but Saturday next week is my next stitch marker shop update, and I will pop some unicorns in the shop. I will be in Liverpool that week, so I might not be able to post that much on Instagram, but if you follow me on Instagram, which is at the corner of craft, should be in the description box of this video. I definitely forgot to write in the description box of this video. I'm so good and professional at YouTube. Yes. If you follow me on Instagram, I tend to post when shop updates are. I tend to alternate weeks between yarn and stitch markers, but I'm going to hold off on yarn updates until after Nottingham Yarn Expo, purely because I can't dye that much yarn at once, as in I can only dye 6 skeins of yarn at once. So all of my life focus and dedication at the moment is to filling up a grid wall I am yet to possess. Yes, I am going to Liverpool, but Hannah, because I did think about you, I'm not just being an ass, but I'm going for my sister's birthday, because she's turning 30 next Thursday. So I'm going for her birthday, so it's entirely a family trip. I'm really sorry, because I would love to see you, Hannah, but I'm going to be doing family things with the family all the time. I mean, I might be able to sneak in and go to a yarn shop with my mum, but it's my sister's birthday trip, so I don't want to arrange meeting up with a friend and then take away from something that she wants to do. Does that make sense? I'm really paranoid that everything I'm saying is making me sound like a dick. Just trying to be nice. Go to Overs Yarns in St John's. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I have the driest... They're not even dry. They're just like really hard skin around my... really dry skin around my fingers from all this beading I'm doing. And I realised I pushed the needle through the bead using this finger right here, this bit, so it's really hard. I'm building up calluses, sadly, the energy exerted into making stitch markers does not translate to my Fitbit, so the mental strain and concentration that it takes, because I haven't finished one. I have not finished a single one yet. It's because I'm chatting at the same time. Usually it doesn't take me this long to make them, unless I get distracted by my phone and start playing various terrible, stupid swipe 3, whatever it's called, games on my phone. Put the Fitbit on the other arm. The Fitbit registers when I am winding yarn, so that's always good. That gets some extra steps in. But yesterday, I did not do much walking at all. It was awful. I spent the day right here. I maybe went upstairs to the toilet. I mean, I definitely did, because otherwise there's something wrong with me. I maybe walked 20 steps to make a tea, and then walked back, you know. Oh, hi. Didn't know I could understand Spanish till just now. I mean, I did a year of Spanish after I graduated university, because I missed learning. So I did a year of Spanish. then, and it was really fun. Oh, Fitbit registers burping babies. Well, good to know. Find a baby. I'm not going to be having one anytime soon, as far as I'm aware. I mean, it's entirely in my control, so I'm not having one anytime soon. Let's get a wedding out of the way first, which is November 2019. We have a date. Da, da, da. Meeting up with a photographer on Wednesday, which is very exciting. We're just basically dragging our feet about it. I can totally borrow yours if I go to Scotland. I mean, yes. Yarn dyeing is hard work, but I have been beading more than I've been yarn dyeing, because I know that yarn dyeing I can do quicker if the outside weather cooperates with me. Outside weather, as opposed to the inside weather, Hannah. Yeah, I know that beading stitch markers is much more time consuming, and if my online shop is going to be anything to go by, they are going to sell a little bit better than my yarn does. So I'm trying to get a good stash of them made. And I can't make them in mass either, because you know how some, you know, the polymer clay stitch markers, you can make a ton of bodies and a ton of heads and then a ton of arms. I don't know what I'm making. Sadly, with bead weaving, you have to sew beads together one at a time on every single one, hand woven. So if you've got a stitch marker from me, just know I've hand selected every single bead that's gone on it. And I'm really sorry, my Spanish has run out now and I can't understand what you're saying. What kind of wedding are you thinking of having? Well, we're getting married in what used to be a farm. So we get married in a barn. There's a giant taxidermy stag head on the wall. There's loads of farm equipment around. So I think we're just going to be having a bit of a hipster wedding. Says the girl that looks like a huge hipster right now. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I won't lie. I need to start doing dress shopping. Okay, I don't want to just remove that one. There we go. Question is, are you having crazy hair on your wedding day? Dodoy? I mean, that's if I still have crazy hair then. But as far as I'm aware, yes. No, I'm getting married in November. So basically winter. It's probably going to be blowing a hoolie and raining. But was much cheaper than a summer wedding. Ding! Not that it really matters, but save pennies where you can save pennies. Plus it means I can knit myself a nice cardigan to wear over my wedding dress. That will be nice. Yes, I do have some ideas on what kind of dress I want. I don't want to talk too much about it, just in case, you know. But I don't think I want a floor length dress. Oh, fun fact. Oh my goodness. So when I cut the thread on my beaded charms, I use a cuticle cutter, which was bought purposely for this purpose only. It's never been used on myself, because it cuts the thread much closer to the beads than I can ever get a pair of scissors to cut. So maybe a high-low dress, what like in November Rain. Like in the Guns N' Roses November Rain video. I could also have the big mullet. That would work a treat. No, I don't think I'm going to be having a high-low dress. Sadly. Not really my jam. I was just about to sing Purple Rain, but sing November instead of Purple. Different song, Hannah. Different artist. Same weather type. Still singing about precipitation. Not the same kind of rain. But yes, November means I will be less likely to get too hot, which is nice. I was also contemplating wearing Doc Martens on my wedding day, but I might change my mind before then. I just can't really, yes, outside rain as opposed to inside rain, which arguably could be a shower. Hiya, I'm fine, thanks. Yeah, I might change my mind before then. Who knows? What time is it? 9:30. I can bead another one. Let's try and bead this one a bit quicker than 45 minutes. This is what happens. This is why I can't make as much. I can see you wearing Converse under your wedding dress. I'm 100% a Doc Martens kind of gal. I got them on right now because I went out and then I've come in and then I haven't taken them off because that's how I roll. I'm sadly not wearing my new ones because rain was forecast and then it did not rain. But I've got very hot feet. I tried on a high-low dress before. It was definitely more elegant than the November rain one. I would hope so. That was a little trashy. I mean, if that's your style, then that's your style. I'm not calling you trashy. You see, I was not thinking black crystal. I was thinking gold sparkly. Gold sparkly Doc Martens. We might have some D&D themed aspects to the wedding. I don't want to talk too much about it, just in case there are any friends and family who will be invited to the wedding watching this, because some people in my real life do, for some reason, not get sick of me in person and then actually watch me on YouTube sometimes as well, which baffles me, because surely me in person is enough for most people. But then they come and find me on this as well, especially because not many of them are knitters. Buy an old pair of DMs and make them sparkly yourself. Yeah, I mean, I could totally DIY it. The sparkly rainbow unicorn docs, I have seen like a very pale, kind of iridescent looking, I don't think they actually are iridescent, pale rainbow sparkly Doc Martens before, and they look fantastic. Yes. Mary and I have settled on our colour scheme, which I'm not going to talk about, but let's just say that purple hair will go well with it. So maybe I'll have purple hair. Who knows? I mean, purple hair is a classic. Make a beaded wedding dress. Amazing. I did think I did, in all seriousness, talk about knitting myself a wedding dress. But then, amazing. And then but then I would have to lose a significant amount of weight just so it wouldn't take me so long to knit the damn thing. Other reasons I want to lose weight. 1, knitting jumpers will be much quicker because I'll have fewer stitches to knit. 2, they'll be much cheaper because I'll have fewer skeins of yarn to buy. 3, if I knit myself a dress, it won't take as long. Why are these logical things? They're all knitting related. They don't do big cakes at their bakery, sadly. It's not their kind of, they're mainly breads and pastries and tray bakes. But it was I've completely forgotten who it is. My mind has just gone completely blank. Oh, we think we're having, where Mario's works, we think that we're having bread from there for our wedding. But I don't know if that's been confirmed. Someone on Instagram a couple of years ago got married and she had an amazing blue cardigan on and she posted the pattern. But she knitted herself a wedding dress and it was in lace weight and it was all lacy and she had a blue underneath made, so like the basic skeleton of the dress, if you will, or the main bulk of it, they say, was just this blue thing. I finished my first unicorn finished, I'm on to my second. Amazing, Suzanne. Yeah, I can't think, I can see the word in my head, but I have no idea how to pronounce it. Anyway, she knitted herself the most amazing wedding dress. It was beautiful. I mean, she was still finishing it the morning of her wedding, sewing it together and such. But I desperately, yes, that is who it is. That's why I can't say it, because I have no idea. Dieu, Kev, A for effort, Z for execution. Yeah, fantastic, gorgeous, stunning wedding dress. I saw that and I sent a picture to my mum and I was like, oh, I'm going to wear this when I get married. Because apparently I type like this on my phone when I'm beading. I do not. But if your thumbs can't do the typing, apparently tapping the underneath of my phone will also do the job. Yeah, and that was pre-engagement, if you will. Sometimes I on purpose pronounce words incorrectly because it makes conversation much more amusing. Not because I'm a moron, but also maybe because I'm a moron. Pre-engagement, if you will. I sent Mum that and she was like, yeah, perfect. She definitely thought I was joking. And then when I actually did get engaged, I was like, Mum, I think I want to knit my dress. She was like, oh. But then I thought, no, I want the fun of going to a wedding dress shop and trying on a load of dresses and not having the stress of knitting myself a wedding dress. I mean, I'm going to be stressed out enough at the wedding because it's who I am. I'm a very high stress person, which is quite funny because I don't think it comes across in real life that I'm a high stress person. I just have the constant fear that everything is going to go wrong. Oh, scroll. Yes, constant fear that everything's going to go wrong, and I can't really be doing with that when it comes to knitting my wedding dress. Such is life. But yeah, just need to play with the women in the background. Oh, when I go try on wedding dresses, yes. You don't know the mistake that you've made. I don't want an expensive wedding dress. I don't want to try on an expensive wedding dress because if I were to get makeup on an expensive wedding dress or rip it or, I don't know, vomit on it, I don't know why I would vomit in a wedding dress shop. I don't know why that came to mind. Sincerest apologies if you have issues with vomiting. I feel really bad now. Yes, I wouldn't want the pressure of trying on an expensive wedding dress. Any easy beginner ideas to make? I think the first thing I ever beaded, so I do break stitch. I also do square stitch. This is an old trial that I then decided not to do. I do square stitch as well. Brick stitch I personally think is easier for a beginner. Easier to increase and decrease. And the first thing I made was a triangle. And then I turned that triangle into a bunting necklace. And then I tried to sell that bunting necklace on Etsy, and the rest, as they say, is history. That was very high pitched. I don't know why that was the noise I made. I should probably go to bed soon. It's late. Taught myself to bead easier tutorials and I love it. Oh, good. I'm glad that I could help you out and that they were somewhat useful because I received a lot of backlash for a lot of these tutorials. Do I prefer tabletop games or video games? I prefer tabletop games, and I'm not very good at losing games. I'm really bad at losing games. I'm actually terrible at losing games. I'm the worst person to play games with because I will sulk and storm out of the room sometimes. Not actually, but figuratively. I hate losing things. Great song. Yeah, no. Tabletop games, because video games, I get frustrated when I can't do things. I have very much youngest child syndrome, which is not that I was coddled, because I was not. My mum is also a terrible loser, and she is also a youngest child. But because my mum is a terrible loser at board games, and she freely admits it also, she wouldn't let me win. Just like other people don't let me win. So I quite enjoy watching Mario play video games, if it's an interesting one. If it's a really boring, crappy one like Hearthstone, no, I take that back. Hearthstone isn't crap as a game, but to watch, it is quite crap. especially if you don't really know what's going on. But if he's playing something exciting, like what was a good game that he played? Horizon Zero Dawn. That was a fantastic game to watch because it was just really interesting. Basically, I need a game with a story to watch. Otherwise, I'm not interested. My tummy just rumbled. Sorry if you just heard that. Do I still watch Glee? I don't. Didn't know it was still on. Super Mario Party. I've never played it before. What? I really need to. Oh, I do love Tetris though. Tetris is my jam. Although playing Tetris, we've got Puyo Puyo Tetris on the Switch, which is apparently a great game. But I can't do the Puyo Puyo part. And then apparently I can't do the Tetris part because even though I get a higher score than the other person still wins. Because it's all about like getting chains. I'm not very good at that. I'm really good at clearing lines. And I do it like one at a time. Like clear the line, clear the line, clear the line. And then that's not how you get chains. And then I get more points. So I'm better at it. But I don't win. Oh my god, you have to try the new Super Mario Party on Switch. Good to know. Good to know. Quite excited for Animal Crossing on Switch. I got quite into Animal Crossing on Mario's 3DS for a while, and then I got fed up with it. It's not that I got fed up with it, I just didn't go on it for a few days, and then I just continued to not go on it. That was a really attractive face that I just pulled. No wonder Mario is with me. That bead is too small. That one is fine. How is my tap dancing going? So I don't have tap dancing this coming Monday. There's a dance competition happening in Loughborough. If you've never seen how the word Loughborough is written down, it's really funny. It looks like Loughborough or Loughborough or Loughborough. Loughborough. Doesn't look like it should be said as Loughborough, but there's a dance competition happening in Loughborough, which the dance school that I go to is participating in. And for some reason, they didn't ask me to be the leading tap dancer extraordinaire. It's no surprise, and plus it's for kids. That was just me trying to be funny and completely failing at it because it's significantly past my bedtime. And plus I've had half a pint of cider and Loughborough. But you see, I pronounce it Loughborough, not Loughborough. Loughborough. Like a borough. So yeah, I don't have tap dance this week. Oh yeah, I also had a glass of Prosecco, but I'm not drunk because half a pint of cider and a glass of Prosecco a drunk Hannah does not make. So I don't have one this week, but I've got one next week, and then I don't have one the week after because it's half term. So I think. Anyway, it's off on off, but it's going okay. Okay, I tell you what, last session, which was Monday, wasn't a complete disaster, which was nice. There was nothing in. I get really frustrated when I can't do things, hence me not liking video games, because as much as I appreciate a challenge, I want to try something twice and be good the second time. If I fail the first time, that's okay. If I fail a second time, I guess that's also okay. But if I just can't do it, I get so frustrated and I kind of just want to walk out of the room and cry. Not because I'm sad, not because I'm spoiled, not because I think it's going to get me anywhere, because I know that it's not. Purely because I get really frustrated when I can't do things. So there's been a couple of times in TAP where I wanted to storm out the room and cry and then come back in and give it another go. But I'm 28. You can't walk out of a room crying unless you've actually been upset by something, not because you've forgotten what order the shuffle, toe, stomp, pick up, pull, change happens. I don't know if that's a step. I try to envision it as I said it. It looks weird. But the last class was better than previous ones. I didn't have any moments of teary frustration. I haven't actually cried in a tap dancing class, don't worry. But I have noticed recently, or after the last 2 classes, I've had a really sore knee the next day. Or was it last 3 classes? I've had quite a sore knee the next day. So I'm either doing, and it's my left knee, which my left leg is my weaker leg. So I'm obviously doing something either wrong or just wrong. I'm either doing it wrong or landing it wrong, because it's when I do pickups, if you know anything about tap dancing. And because I'm in the advanced class, you do a lot of pickups, and they tend to be on the ball of your foot and springing and not nice, gentle lands, and yes. Oh, sorry, that's covering my face. Try pronouncing Broadwood Widger. Broadwood Widger. Broadwood Widger. That was a complete fail of a pronunciation. For anyone who is watching this back and doesn't have the live chat rolling, I would recommend having the live chat rolling. It doesn't go particularly quickly, because some people that I've watched live back and the chat's like, it's terrible. But if you have the live chat up, I was trying to pronounce a place that was recommended to me to try to pronounce. It could be a twisting knee owie sort of thing. Yeah, maybe. I just took it as a sign of me getting older. Also, speaking of getting older and drinking, what was I going to say? Speaking of getting older and drinking, yes, my hangovers have started to get worse. But I'll tell you an association that I made the other day. I realised that why have these messages been deleted? Have you chosen them to be deleted? Or are they just deleting? I'm not really sure what's happening. Yes. So I noticed that my hangovers started to get worse when I stopped going out dancing. There is a direct link between me going out and dancing and hangovers. And if I go out dancing, I don't get a hangover. But if I just go out to a pub and I sit and I drink and passively knit for a long time while chatting at people, let's be honest, I'm a talker at people, especially with a few drinks in me, I will be hungover the next day. So, I haven't quite got to the 2-day hangovers. I mean, I think I've had a couple, but it's more that the second day is just tiredness. No large bottle of German cider, but I did buy a crate of 24 German ciders off Amazon.de, which is German Amazon, because they only cost me, what did they cost me? I think it worked out to be like £1.50 a can or something. Yeah, so I basically need to find more friends to go out drinking with. That's the thing that I really should start doing. No, dancing. Dancing was the word I wanted. I think the word we're looking for is dehydration. No, but, okay, question. If I am dancing excessively with drinking, surely that would dehydrate me more. Dancing makes drinking a negative calorie beverage. I agree, but nobody wants to go out dancing anymore because everyone acts like an old person. I love going out dancing. It's my favourite part of a wedding. I'm well excited to never leave my dance floor at my wedding, because I highly doubt that I will, because I don't leave the dance floor at other people's wedding. So I imagine I will not leave the dance floor at my wedding. But I'm now at the awkward in-between age in life where there are either people of a certain age going out and dancing and having a great time and reliving their youth, which you do you, that sounds fantastic. But there also seems to be a few lechy men there, which less enthusiastic about. And Nottingham's a student town, and students are back now at university. So you walk into a club and all of a sudden you're like, my God, I'm 10 years older than everyone in here. How come everyone looks like they're 12? Personally, but surely dance, okay, right. Alcohol dehydrates you, as does the sweating whilst you were dancing. I agree. Surely my hangover should be worse if I dance than if I sit and I knit and I drink. Just saying. But basically, what I need to do, or what someone needs to do, because let's be honest, I'm not going to do it. I was just talking to someone today, explaining to them that to me, watching things like Strictly Come Dancing is like me watching North Korean news. I just don't get it. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. What someone needs to do is they need to invent a nightclub for people, and they would just play music like they play at weddings. Not like the ultimate cheese, but just like gentle cheese. Not like the music that comes on and you're like, oh, this is so awful, I'm going to get a drink. But the ones that are like, tune. No, dancing hangovers are better. As in, they don't exist. Yeah, basically, there needs to be a nightclub for people that play songs that like wedding songs, not like Agadoo, because that is one of the ones that makes you want to go get a drink because the cheese is too intense. And then you just go with your pals and dance your socks off, so you're not hungover the next day. But no one I know wants to go out dancing anymore, and it's a bit lame to go to a nightclub by yourself. I mean, I will happily go to a nightclub as a twosome, but I need to find my other one to go as a twosome. Otherwise, I'm just a onesome, and that is not awesome. Oh, that was a strenuous line. I should be in bed. I think that's the sign. Oh, I just enjoy going out and having a boogie. I need more friends to get married so I can go and have a dance, even if it does cost a bomb to go to other people's weddings. How has my day been? My day has been quite good, thank you. I was here for the morning. I did some beading. Basically, I should go for a run when I've been drinking. And then I popped into Nottingham, and then I went to where Mario works and got a donut, and it was delicious. I mean, I posted all this. Oh yeah, this is the, oh, excuse me, flash in my bosom, knitting is metal shirt. Oh, kick the table. I'm really unprofessional. Why do you watch me? Oh my God, I've done it again. Get a ruddy grip. And I also just stabbed myself in the head with a needle. So we are t-shirt twins. I also bought the Death Tarot card knitting t-shirt. When I saw that that was a really awkward dance, but it warmed me up quite nicely. I'm getting quite chilly. My kids and husband can all dance very well. Dance around the house. Yes, you need one of those knitting is metal t-shirts. Oh, that is cool. I love a boogie. Yeah, when I saw that Countess Ablaze was selling them, I was just like, well, I have to get them, because whilst I would love to buy them from Knitting is Metal herself, or themselves, I don't know how many there are, but yes, as much as I'd love to buy them from them directly, there we go, that's a logical way of speaking, then yeah, postage, customs. Metal music and knitting needs to unite more often. I agree. Actually, because you will go off topic and do silly things like kick the tripod. Thanks. I'm doing my best. At least I'm very consistent with my personality. You're not going to spot a change here anytime soon. If you do, then I'm sure one of you will bring me crashing back down to the ground. Kim is one person. Good to know. I watch you because you are you and it's real and not scripted. Thanks. I mean, if this was scripted, that would be a crazy script to memorize. Yeah, I wouldn't like to watch that. Picking up speeds. You see, okay, it's when I make the loop is basically the only time I have to physically concentrate on picking up beads, because I'm picking up 5 at a time. Usually it's just 1, and once I got 1, that's fine. But picking up 5, apparently that's an effort. I wouldn't fancy doing drunk beading. Oh, what beads do I use? I have got drunk on stream before and definitely shouldn't have done. I feel like that was a huge personal mistake and probably one I will revisit. It was that cider, man. I can't believe that I had 1 and then was like, oh, actually, yeah, I'm quite drunk. I judge myself. I use beads called Delicate Beads by Mayuki, which are a Japanese brand. Toho also do a similar kind of bead. They are also called cylinder beads because they are cylindrical, and they just fit together quite nicely because as opposed to other ones, they're not round. We already have my drunk kitchen, so we may as well have my drunk knitting. Very true. I should have had that as my podcast, but then my podcast would have been hours and hours and hours long because I would have also just been getting drunk in the middle of the day, which, I mean, doesn't sound like a bad thing. Ah, Kristen, you're more than welcome to crash a live chat. I appreciate you being here, and I'm glad that I can make your day of labelling yarn that much more enjoyable. I mean, it's not the nicest of tasks. I mean, if the company's good, then it's a fantastic task. And I'm pretty good company. But maybe one day in the future, I will do a live stream called My Drunk Knitting, and we'll make that a thing. I would have done it today, but I'm getting up not that early, but I'm getting a train tomorrow to visit my friend at before 10 o'clock. So I need to be functioning. Also, I'm going to be socializing. Yes, I've got beading tutorials way back. I got playlists. Check them. Socializing with a 9-year-old, and I don't want to be doing that with a hangover because that's a bad influence. Drunken knit nights would be great, other than time zones, because it's currently 9:52 p.m. So if I were to sit and drink, could you imagine drunk knitting colour work? I mean, I've done so much drunk knitting in my life, which is not something I should brag about. Sorry, Mum. Oh my goodness, awful. But yeah, last time we have discussed this before, but that's because I knit at the pub, and then I can assess how drunk I am by how I can knit, and then, oh, I just hit myself in the face. And then if I get to a point where I think, I should put my knitting away, that's when I know that I'm in for a terrible hangover the next day, or a really good night. So, but yes, we will do a slightly drunken live stream at some point. I'll whip out a couple of cans of apple vine and we'll have a party. It will be great. It will probably be a Friday night party because Mary goes to bed stupidly early on a Friday night because he opens up the bakery on a Saturday at, drumroll, 3:30 in the morning. Mario starts work at 3:30 tomorrow morning. Gross. Yes, only slightly, because whatever goes on the internet stays on the internet forever. And I don't want to be a drunken mess on the internet for the world to see forever. That very much is the baker knife. I very much stay in bed. And he starts work at 3:30, which means he has to leave before 3:30. And it's so early that buses aren't even running, so he has to drive and park and walk in the scary, scary dark. Hashtag Baker Life. I mean, he chose the Baker Life. That's his fault. But yes, I will. I was about to check my phone for a date. You're there. I will look up a date at some point, and we will have my drunk knitting knit night, and I will share it on Instagram and probably on here. And yes, at least get the benefits of Baker Life, aka bread. I mean, technically, I would, but being the kind of lady that I am, I'm on a constant mission to lose weight, which is my life and has been for too long. Yes, drunk knitting Christmas party in Christmas jumpers, done, sorted. It will be slightly before Christmas, obviously, but good shout. That's defo happening. Post not email expo, so I can actually do some knitting, because I feel guilty at the moment or Christmas PJs, also acceptable. I feel guilty at the moment if I'm sat on this sofa knitting when I could be beading. But yeah. Cool. I will share it sooner and we'll have a slightly drunken knitting club. My neighbours are shouting and I'm not sure why. Slightly concerning. That would be so much fun. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. I would have to drink Glühwein though, right? Like mulled wine. That would just be the law. Or I could make Glühapfelwein. Yes, it's hard to lose weight and live with bacon. Yeah, so I'm on an eternal mission to lose weight, and therefore constantly trying to be on Slimming World and then failing at it because I am me. Let's not go into that too much. But yeah, so you can only have certain types of things, and then delicious, wonderful, crusty bread is not on their list of allowed foods. So I don't get the benefits of delicious bread. Yeah, one of my friends signed up to a gin club, and last Christmas was sent a Lebkuchen gin, which is essentially German gingerbread, but not the same at all, and far nicer. Lebkuchen is more spongy. It's not as hard as gingerbread is. It's more like a cake. Just gonna show off my obnoxious German knowledge. But yes, I'm not a gin fan. Fun fact. I went to a German Christmas market when I lived in Germany. It's the classic line that I need to stop saying. I went to a Christmas market and had quite a lot of fruit wine, and it was really good. Love a bit of obnoxious German. My life is a bit of an obnoxious German. I won a giveaway from Punky Pins paired with someone else. We Are Firebox, is that what they're called? Who knows, can't remember. I won a giveaway, so I won a ton of various unicorn pins. I only found out today, so they've not arrived, obviously. And also won a bottle of Unicorn Tears raspberry gin. I won. Out of the thousands of people that entered, they picked little old me. And I don't drink gin, so my sister is going to benefit from a bottle of pink, swirly looking gin. So that's pretty cool. I thought I just completely messed up what I was beading. I have not. I just got too excited about what I'm doing and then forgot about what I'm doing. For people that joined slightly later, ahoy there. I am beading a unicorn. You see, I never win anything either, You know those people that are all the time like, I won this, I won this. I never win anything either. So when I got the message today, I'm like, congratulations, you won. I almost messed myself. Not actually, because it's not that big of a deal, but it was very exciting. I got very excited because unicorn pins, which I think I already own a couple of. Anything that I get doubles of will be going into my giveaway bin, so you might get some pins in some prizes. For Stash Miss Cow. Stash Miss Cow, let you stash. Me timing. Oh my god, I loved the German spiel in Dundonit's last episode. It was fantastic. Yeah, me planning to do... Oh, it must be gone 10 o'clock. My phone's gone yellow instead of... It's gone warm instead of cool. My planning of the Stash Miss Cow was awful because I want to knit so many things from stash, and now I should be dyeing yarn to knit samples for my shop, and then I feel guilty if I am knitting because I should be beading things for Nottingham Yarn Expo. I think I'm allowing this yarn festival to take over my life, and I potentially should plan my life better. Such is life, that's how it works. Let your work take over your life because self-employment wins. Yeah. I think sometimes when I do live streams, I forget that actually there are 40 odd people watching, and that I just sing terrible songs and open up to you and say very vulnerable things again that I haven't done. Train of thought completely gone. I've forgotten what I was saying. Yeah, I share things with you that I maybe shouldn't share, and then sing songs that I maybe shouldn't sing, and I think I forget that people are watching because I'm essentially just talking to myself. And when you talk to yourself for an hour and a half, I think you go a little loopy. Maybe not. I think this is just eternally what happens inside of my brain. And this is just it coming out into the fray, which is slightly worrying that this is what happens in my head. Although this does also happen in conversations when I'm meeting up with people in real life, like real in-person friends, especially if they are quiet people that don't talk much. And I have a couple of friends that are like that. And I continually talk at them, and sometimes they don't give me the feedback that I need. You know, like the chat, because there's a delay, sometimes your feedback, you, the viewers, your feedback and response to the things that I'm saying, that would be cool. Maybe I am. That would be awesome. Yes. So I continue to talk until something happens and someone says something, or someone says, maybe you should stop speaking, or I get to a point where I say, maybe I should stop speaking. Like the fact that I've lost 5 viewers since the beginning of that continual stream of consciousness. Okay. I feel like, and please correct me if I am wrong, I just feel like my personality comes out a bit more in a live stream than it does in a podcast. So this is more what I'm actually like in real life. And I feel like maybe I am like this in a podcast as well, but podcasts are more structured, rigid. I'm by myself. I don't have a feedback. I'm like, right, I'm talking about this, I'm talking about this, I'm talking about this, I'm talking about this. Yeah, also true. It's all right. I'm getting the viewers back, even though I've got this terrible stream of consciousness happening. But I've completely... Oh, yeah. I feel like my personality shines through a bit more on a live stream than it does in a podcast. And I don't know if anyone else has known this. I mean, I don't know how many people have met me both in person and also have... I mean, quite a few people have. It would be better to have... But if it's an artificial intelligence, that would be that the phone would have the 40 personalities. It's not me that would have the 40 personalities. Good to know that I'm keeping you sane, because I think I'm gradually going insane the longer this stream goes on. I still haven't finished this second unicorn. This was only meant to take me half an hour. It is taking me longer than half an hour. Yes. But yeah, my random songs are all part of the fun here in the Corner of Craft. If you're new to a live stream, I don't tend to do random songs in podcasts purely because I don't think of anything to sing about. That's not true at all. I sing in podcasts also. If in doubt, sing. And they all tend to be similar tunes, if you've noticed it. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Because I always find it's so much easier for people that film podcasts with other people. So if they're like a duo or a trio or a quadruplet. I don't know if that's the correct terminology for a foursome. Don't let your brain go there. My brain's already there. It's there. Anyway, quadruplet, quad, pair, duo, trio, a quad. That's better. Then it's easier to bounce off other people, but solo podcasting, it's just me with a camera, and how am I meant to show off my brilliant, slightly mental self if I'm just talking to myself, which is essentially what I'm doing now, but I'm also bouncing off what other people are saying. In theory, I'm not. I'm also just thinking about what I'm saying. What are some things I want to knit? I did see your question, even though you asked it in the middle of my stream of consciousness. My brain starts to remember things. I've got a fair few sweater quantities upstairs that I want to cast on and knit. I want to knit a couple of 5 fades to get through some stash, and I should probably start doing some Christmas knits. I should do some of those. I basically just want to be knitting anything, and plus I'm desperate to cast on that lightning bolt voltage shawl that I have the yarn caked up for. It's either that or I just knit that anyway, and I just won't have many samples on my stall. I need samples. I have had people offer to help me knit them, but I just feel really bad taking them up on it because other people manage to knit them themselves, you know. You're the 2nd September birthday person I found that does it. I do the same. Is that singing randomly? Because the whole of my family... We do sing a lot in our house, but in my house growing up, but we tend to sing actual songs. Oh, that would be amazing. Slightly jealous. Don't you wish you could edit what you say in life like you do? Like you get to do in podcasts? Yes, sometimes. Because reading things back is so much easier than just saying them. Yeah, sometimes I do, especially because I am hyper aware of how I come across. I basically don't want to look like an ass. Da-la-da. That should be my new jingle when I leave anything, when I leave a room. But yes, right. Once I finish this unicorn, I will be going to bed because it's gone 10 o'clock and I've got to get up because I've got to wash my hair. The effort I go to for you, Suzanne, tomorrow. Also, my hair needed a wash today, which is why I'm wearing a hat. I just put a hat on instead. I can't tell you how many ums and ahs I get. I need to edit out my podcast. Yeah, I understand that completely. See? Yeah, I do that. And also, just like itchy noses and yawning and going off on a tangent for a while about things that don't matter. Although I do that here and you will seem to appreciate it, so maybe I should leave them in a bit more. Without actually my podcast would be like 30% brain fart. Yeah, I'm really good at losing train of thought. I don't know if it's because of my nose piercing that I get an itchy nose more so than usual. Do you remember that live stream that I did where I was just scratching my nose so much because it was so itchy? And Anna, who is not in the chat, rude, but she's also an hour ahead, so she might already be in bed, so if you're catching up on this, I've missed you, Anna. She said that we should turn it to a drinking game. Every time I touch my nose, you drink. You would have all ended up hammered. And then it would be my drunk knitting, which is definitely going to be happening near Christmas. I might have to call it "'Tis the season for drunk knitting." 'Tis the season for drunk knitting. Yeah, because that fits. Yeah, fibre fluff. That does make sense. Yeah, I hate washing my hair. Washing my hair days are the worst of the days. Maybe not worst of the days ever in life, because death is up there. But washing my hair is not fun. Defo evil fluff fairies. I'm not even working with fluff, but I have to scratch my nose. But yeah, the day that I wash my hair is the only day I can wear it down, because I think I need a significant amount of my hair cut off because it's slightly very damaged. I mean, I've got hairspray in it right now, so it's not going to feel delightful, but it's slightly crispy. But yeah, I'm not, that was a terrible sound. I do apologise. It's happened, I've cracked. Yeah, 'tis the season for drunk knitting will be happening come December. I'll have a cider before I stream, and I'll have a couple around me while I stream, and then I'll have to keep putting something in front of the thing while I run up to the toilet and run back down, because that's happened before when I've been drinking whilst live streaming. My first ever live stream was my birthday live stream for my 25th birthday, which was my first birthday in Germany, and I didn't know anyone, and I spent the day by myself till Mario got in from work. That was a very sad birthday. That was pre-Becky, for those concerned. And then, yeah, I drank a lot of tea. Favourite Falls podcasters should leave in every nose scratch, nose pick, burp and fart. That would be amazing. Yes. Also hiccup. I get tea hiccups quite a lot because, okay, fun Hannah fact, if you ever have to do a pub quiz about me, I've said that before and I can't remember what it was about. Yes, I always knit some of my hair into basically every single thing that I've knit. My hair molts more than anyone that I know, potentially because of my slightly unhealthy, unbalanced diet that I have, and also because of the damage that I've put it through the years. My once thick, glossy locks are now less thick, less glossy, and falling out. So yes, everything I knit has my hair on. But yeah, my first live stream I ever did, I drank so much tea, I had to keep running to the toilet. And I also did another one that time I got drunk on apple vine, and I had to keep running to the toilet. I've just got a tiny bladder, I think. Yeah, I can't burp. That was the trivial thing that you didn't need to know. I mean, I have done before, but it's not something that happens on a regular basis, to the fact that when it does happen, I text my sister, and excitedly report to her the fact that I burped, and I'm sure she doesn't care, but she knows how much of a big deal it is for me, so I can't burp. So it means that whenever tea especially is a thing, I don't know why, but whenever I drink fizzy drinks and also tea, I get the need to burp without being able to burp. I'm really sorry if you've just joined. This is very unpleasant chat. And so I just do a little throat gurgle. Just a little throat gurgle. And then I move on with my life. So I have to cut them out of podcasts. That is what we're talking about. Things we edit out of podcasts. I bet sometimes it's right, I'm going to be departing soon once I finish this unicorn. I've just started the tail, which is the last little bit. But I bet sometimes if you watch these live streams back when you, if you don't watch them live, and I'm sincerely apologetic for this, but I must start a train of thought and a tangent and get so far in it and then get distracted by something that someone says, and then I go off and talk about that and never go back to my original point, and someone must be sat there saying, yes, but what about the sheep? I don't know why I would be talking about sheep, but for example, I would start a point and never end it, and someone's going to be like, yeah, but what about this? Well, I'm not yet finished. I've still got one more row. I've been told by several people that I have quite a soothing voice. So if this live stream has been nothing for you, I just hope that it's been some nice background noise for you for an hour and 37 or so minutes. I'm surprised I remember the original point after the ramble, because very often I don't. In real life conversations, I never go back to a previous point. I was talking with my friend the other day, and I mentioned to him, because when I drink, I sound like I drink all the time. But I get very excitable, and my voice is like butter. Thanks. I get very excitable. I interrupt people as they're talking because I am that bitch. But I don't mean to. It's just because I get so excited. And I'm like, I have a point to make about that story you're talking about, but I'll let you finish first sometimes. So yeah, I perpetually interrupt people and apologise for it. And luckily my friends are fantastic people. I feel like this hat is too big for me. I knit this one a 3.25. Definitely shouldn't have done. Yes, but we also realised, as I was apologising for interrupting him, because he's not a talkative person anyway, so the fact I interrupt him is like the worst crime ever, because whatever. We realised that I essentially do that with myself as well. I can talk about one thing, get enthusiastic about something that I've just talked about, and interrupt myself mid-thought, and then go back. It's just... I just feel like sometimes talking to me would be exhausting. I'm just overly enthusiastic. It's a fact of life. I've just realised why my tummy's rumbling, why I'm hungry. I forgot to have dinner. Who am I? I'm not that person. I'm not a person that forgets to have dinner. Oh no, it's too late now. Go to bed. Not having dinner. Go to bed on an empty stomach. Bye, Kristen. Thanks for joining. It's alright. I am sewing through my final bead, chopping off the excess thread with my cuticle cutter, because that's what I do. Never has been used on myself or anyone, and it's actually getting quite blunt, so probably need to buy another one. Can you imagine us not trying to have a conversation? My God, it would be exhausting. You know what? I have beaded 2 unicorns in an hour and 40 minutes, which is awful. And far slower than I usually do. Usually I can do one of these in 22 minutes. I time everything, and then I work out a price accordingly. So I'm impressed that I've managed to bead 2 of these, perpetually talk about nothing for an hour and 40 minutes, and not make a single mistake or break a single bead. Would you say that that makes me a professional beader? I don't know, but maybe. Thank you everyone for joining my live stream. I'm going to be going to bed because it is 20 past 10. That's very late. In 12 hours, Suzanne, I'm going to be landing in Chesterfield, i.e. getting off a train. Thank you so much for, yes, I love Consequences. That story game is called Consequences. I used to play that with my family all the time. It was boy's name, girl's name, where they met. He said to her, she said to him, and what the big consequence was. Yes, that does make me feel better. That is huge progress. 8 inches on a jumper. Oh. Thank you so much for joining me. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you. I'm so glad that I did this live stream. Why don't I do this more? I think this, because I was talking about doing a weekly live stream and then it just didn't happen. I don't know why. So I think it's going to be a thing that I do more because it's kind of like a therapy for me. In a way, I tell you about my day and talk about nothing with you all and repeat stories that I've told you millions of times and chat with you and get quite personal with you about how I'm feeling and my emotions and whatnot. But yeah, it was just quite fun. So I need to do this more. And also it makes up for the fact that I totally failed on podcasting because I haven't been knitting. But yes, thanks for hanging out with me. I really enjoyed having all of your company. And yes, that even applies to the people that are watching this back post live stream. Best of luck for you demoing at your spinning group's open day. Nighty night everyone. Hope you sleep well. Have a fantastic weekend, regardless of if you're working or not. And I will see you all very soon in my next video. Bye. And press the cancel button really obnoxiously. Oh, where is it? Cancel.